Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Woman to Woman TV show. This evening, we're talking about women in politics. Can women affect change in the way that our youth vote? That's the question. I think we can, because I think we are the first teachers. And because we're the first teachers, we make the first impressions on our children. We make the first impressions on our families in totality. Our husbands, our male friends, our relatives. So we have to know the power of our being. And women are powerful spirits. And we can affect change. All we have to do is concentrate on what change we want to occur, and then bring it to our young people so that they can understand why it's important that they understand why we know that we can affect change in the way they vote. Because if we affect that change, we can now determine, who's going to be in office, and whether that person is qualified or not according to our terms. Right. We have to take control.
Absolutely.
Because it's just not working the way it's going now.
I agree. So I agree totally with you, Wanda, because the majority of our households are ran by single mothers, single parents.
Yes.
In our community, So I think women have always had the power.
Right.
But we have allowed, our men, because they are the head. They're supposed to be the head. So it's like a lot of women, I think, because of the men, a lot of them have just totally gone astray or incarcerated, or you know how it go. We know the lifestyle. So at the end of the day, is mothers, is women, and we have the power. We have the conversations that we engage with our children.
Yes.
From birth.
Yeah.
Till adulthood. So with that being said, yes, we could change the mindset. Look, we could do whatever we want to do.
So do we begin through, I know that in my mind's eye, we since we're the first teachers, I don't know that I agree with what they're teaching our children in public school, or maybe it's I don't agree with the way they're teaching our children, because I think if they knew more about their history, more about their geniusness, more about how we've contributed to the society, versus all they hear, which is all the things that we don't do or haven't done. I think that we would be able to influence them greatly.
Well, that comes from being, we have to come back to the bases and teach our kids at home. We have to get it at these tables like we used to do back in the day. You brought your homework home, you got to the table, you engage with your parents, you engage with whoever was there about what was going on in the world. And We have to teach our kids the history because remember, how many days we get? 28 days. 28 days, that's in February, right? When is Black History Month?
It's in February.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
28
it's in
days.
February. But the next month, March, is Women History Month.
Okay.
So
So,
we need to use, in my mind, we need to use every month, every day
yes, yes,
to
yes.
educate our children about what they're really experiencing.
Right. And then when you go to the public schools, the whole curriculum needs to be changed, you
When I
know.
looked at that book that this ex-teacher was on the show the other day, and she brought this book, and this book,
Mhm.
um, it's called
Let me write
"It's
it down.
Perfectly Normal: Changing
Mhm.
Bodies, Growing Up, Sex, Gender, and Sexual Health." And I'm told
Mhm.
that the governor approved this a law that says it's okay to to teach our children starting from kindergarten on up about their bodies. And when you open this book and
Mhm.
see all the pictures they have, a woman and man having sex,
Really?
two women having sex, two
Really?
two men having sex.
What?
Yes, a woman laying on her side with her finger up her vagina.
Oh my God.
A man sitting on the bed with his penis in his hand ejaculating.
Oh my God. And the governor of Illinois?
This is, he approved sex education in schools starting at
At kindergarten?
kindergarten. That's what
Oh,
I'm told. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but that's what the lady said. And she's a ex special education teacher. She said in Chicago public schools, only Black teachers are only 3% of the teacher pool.
I could believe that. 3%. And the majority
3% out of the teacher pool
and the majority of the children
are
that
Black.
are Black. 3%.
Then they show a picture of the vulva, our vagina, and
Mm,
they list all the parts of the vagina. Then they have a child bent over, and they show his anus
mm.
and all of the parts of the anus.
What's the name of this book? I want to
Here's the name of this book is
hold it.
called "It's
Mhm.
Perfectly Normal: Changing Bodies, Growing Up, Sex, Gender, and Sexual Health" by Robbie H. Harris
Wait a minute.
and Michael M. Burley.
And it's online now.
I'm sure
I'm
it is.
with this. Robert H. Harris and who
Yes.
else?
Michael Emberley. Emberley.
Oh
They
wow.
have all these graphics, as I
Chicago
just
Public Schools.
explained. Oh, it says K through 2 identify different kinds of families: nuclear, single parent, blended,
Mm,
intergenerational, cohabitating, adoptive, foster, same gender,
mm.
interracial.
They
This
move
is
they move these
K,
words rapidly, aren't they? This
K
new
to 2 years old.
my God.
Define gender, gender identity, and gender role stereotypes.
Wow.
List medically accurate names for body parts, including the genitals.
Mm. And you know what? This information I would have never known about it unless you um unless it was brought up in this discussion, because a lot of times I think we fight for the wrong things.
Yeah,
This here, my honey, it just this here,
it's
it,
scary to me
it
that they are
scary.
teaching our children. I
Yes,
mean, in my mind, that's a mother and a father's job,
that's right.
you
That's
know.
right.
And it seems she said this teacher was so adamant. I'm going to edit the show tonight
Good.
and put it out there so you can see how uh, upset and how stressed this
Oof,
teacher was
girl,
as
I
she
want.
explained
I'm gonna pull
what
it up.
was going on. I mean, she was just like, we're fighting the wrong battles.
That's what I'm saying. We fight for the wrong thing all the time, and all this stuff just be going over our heads.
Over our heads. And she said, I mean, we're sending our if this is all true, it's like we're sending our children to the slave master to raise our children and teach our children all the things he or she wants them to know versus what's true,
Mm,
versus what we've experienced. Don't teach them any of that. Just make them think that they're worthless and that their bodies are here to be used however someone chooses to use them.
mm-hmm.
That's the part that's scary to me.
It was. I'm reading that it was banned.
That the book was banned.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says many sources believe that the book portrait portrait sexual contents that is not age appropriate,
Right.
including illustrations of nudity and sex,
Mm-hmm.
homosexuality, abortion, and religious viewpoints. So it was
Mm-hmm.
bad, but it was he had okayed it. So that let me know that a lot of people had a lot to say about it.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna order this book.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
Perfectly normal. Oh Lord.
That's the name of Perfectly Normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's perfectly normal. That's when she showed that book and
yeah.
she said, and then she told us that they closed over 50 schools and laid off so many hundred black teachers,
Mm-hmm.
and that black students are the majority of the population in public schools, but yet only 3% of the public school teachers are black.
And out of that 3%, how many are males?
That's right. So it's
Yeah,
like they're trying to, not trying,
they are.
they are uh I my the last show I said uh the Pope,
Oh my
I
God.
read
Yeah.
that the Pope is now saying he's entertaining approving same-sex marriages, same
That's right.
sex same-sex relationships. Now this
Mm-hmm.
the Pope of the Catholic Church. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's okay for two men to marry or two women to marry. What happened to the part where the Bible says, go, and propagate, go and flourish the world, go and 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 make babies. How they going? Neither one of those couples can make a baby,
Right.
so that can't be appropriate.
Right.
But
Right.
yet you're going to approve it. You're going to allow it with your blessings, and then the governor signs the bill that says it's appropriate to teach sex education in schools to our children.
Oh, babe.
I said, wait a minute. Is it what's the analogy here? Are the
Right.
schools now going to be educating our children and promoting all these ill relationships?
They already have. I think.
This teacher said, they're transgendering our children.
Yes, that's right.
She said they're teaching our boys to be girls and our girls to be boys.
This is true.
And I'm like, what the
Mhm.
what's going on?
That's right. And not only that, I notice when you go to the stores, like to the stores, like
Yeah,
clothing stores, department stores, those
yeah,
are those are the, you know, they're greeting. They're
yeah,
greeting you, greeters.
yes.
And they are, and that's what it is.
So
Wow.
how is to have how is raising a child in a home with two men, one mommy and one daddy, appropriate? How is that?
Well, they making it that.
But
They
that's
changing.
not appropriate.
No, it's not, but they changing the mindset to say it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, but it's
Well,
not
that is the
okay.
greatest crap, the greatest jump. Oh, when I
It's
think about
okay.
it,
It's okay because they are those people.
yeah,
You
yeah,
understand? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? They are
yeah,
those people.
yeah, yeah,
So those people make the laws
yeah. You're right.
change.
They
They
make them and they break them.
That's right.
They
That's
make
right.
them and they break them, and they use them to lock us up because they can't control themselves. So when one of theirs get caught up in the trap, the snare, then they
Yes.
change the law.
That's right. That's
They
right.
change the law.
Yes. 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 Look
Like,
at the
Lord have mercy.
they had so many sexual uh convictions with the priest and
Yep,
the
yep. I used to sit on a board with an attorney who
mm-hmm,
was going after
mm-hmm,
the Catholic priests that raped and molested men and women that were now adults,
mm-hmm.
talking about what happened to them as children,
Come on now.
demonstrating that their lives have been destroyed as a relation as a result of
That's
that
right.
experience.
Yes.
They're alcoholics or
Yes.
drug addicts or mental patients,
Yes. Because
because those experiences made them uh you know made them not who they were born to be.
absolutely. And not only that, it's just the last couple of years that um that book has had open, because
Uh-huh.
remember they dealt with their own when they had like uh molestation,
Right.
sexual, they dealt with that on the Catholic level. That
Yeah.
was never put with the public. So they
Right.
had their own set of, they had their own judge and jury, the Catholic,
Mm, mm,
the
mm.
Pope, priest,
Yes. Yes.
all of that.
They
That
were
was
just like the hospitals. When I worked in the hospital as director of radiology, I remember how when doctors
mm-hmm,
messed up and killed somebody,
mm-hmm.
how they would just the administrators would just move that doctor out the hospital and send him somewhere else.
That's right.
He never got reported as a uh
Killer.
as a murderer.
That's
That never came to light. The
right.
family was told the person they couldn't do anything. They did the best they could do.
Right.
Blah blah blah. We and the doctor beat and killed that person.
That's right. They were experimenting. Go ahead. It
That's
was
right. But
experimenting.
but
Mhm.
there's no way the family's gonna get any retribution because they're not gonna ever admit to that experiment.
Well, that was the whole purpose of them having that $1 million policies.
That's right.
What is $1 million insurances in case that happened? They
Yeah.
would be able to, yeah,
But they'll never admit that because then that means their insurance gonna go up. So they ain't gonna never admit that. They're gonna always run.
yes, and I
Always
believe
run.
we did the best. Yes, and I believe that. But that be experimenting. So the more operations that's being done, that means the more deaths, but the better you become into operating to
That's
be certain.
right.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right. And
So when they say, when you do, I don't mean to cut you, when you say, well, I like to know the stats of the doctor. Well,
yeah,
he didn't did over 20,000 surgeries. And
that's
isn't
right.
it ironic that you got zero um people that died? That's BS,
That
right?
is BS. That's BS, baby. I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you from my own personal experience.
Okay.
You'll never know how many people that particular doctor has taken out of here doing
Mm,
his training or her training.
right. Because if that's the case, if we just dealt with the public school system, how
That's
many
right.
kids have they let go through the ropes
That's
or
right.
if they didn't?
When I
Because
found out that they build prison systems,
mm-hmm,
once a third grader fails third grade,
mm-hmm,
they assume that child is going to grow up to be a dropout.
absolutely.
So they build a prison cell for him or her
Mm-hmm.
because they don't expect them to go anywhere to do anything progressive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I for years. So Chicago Public Schools, so they designed the school uh for workers. Like I
Yeah,
guess you have, that you're gonna grow up and be a worker.
right.
Then you have those for like your magnet schools, those supposed to be for leaders.
Yeah,
You and so it's a system. A system have always been in place,
that's right.
but if you never knew, you didn't know. So like if everybody would if everybody were graduates of BAs and uh doctorants, it wouldn't be enough jobs anyhow. You know that.
Right.
So it's like they have created communities of failures
Right.
in our
That's right.
community, you know. Um,
Drug
and they,
addicts,
yeah,
alcoholics,
you're right. This haven't gotten
it's
here. This
all,
it used to be the 20-year plan, you
yeah,
know. Back in the day, remember Black Panther Party when the
yes,
revolution come and
yes.
all of this was infiltrated in the communities, just like they got this fentanyl. Oh my God. They say if it one inhale, you done. You
That's
flat.
right.
I
That's
don't know
right.
how true it is, but I know a lot of people have gone on, you know.
Lord have mercy.
And that's just so sad. So
Yes,
sad. So, all this is, it's not, like, oh my God. I think all of it, was a plan, is a plan to destroy, I went to the convention yesterday with the contractors, the builders, and all of this stuff. And
oh,
it said 53% of Hispanics
wow.
roam in the field.
Whoa.
53 since last year. What does that say? That speaks volume, doesn't it?
Girl, they didn't.
Look,
They came here and taken over.
yes, yes,
And
but
and 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 the system is helping them.
And check this out. So, okay, all the immigrants are coming, 5 year citizens. There would not be nothing black sitting anywhere
That's
unless you
right.
spoke the language.
That's right.
And when I was there, I looked at the stats, how many black con no builders you
Yes,
had.
yes.
Was no black builders, maybe contractors, but they were no manufacturing anything, and they was just providing information on what they did too. And it had to be so many hundreds and hundreds, you know? It tells you something, right?
Oh yeah, it does.
And then people
They
say,
have they're changing the infrastructure
yes.
of the city, of the state. Here we've had homeless people sleeping under bridges, in
Mhm,
cardboard boxes, in tents for at least the last 10 years. And the
mhm,
city would come through every now and then and take those people's items,
mhm,
take all their stuff and just leave them out there
mhm,
barren.
mhm.
Now, if you go past a police station today, you're going to see tents,
Yes,
you're going to see blankets hung up, you're going to see people living in front of the police station.
absolutely.
They not taking their stuff.
No, because that's part of the agreement. All this is agreement, you know.
That's
And you
right. That's right.
we're here, we're here. We don't have a country, so
No,
we are the what is it? American.
we're the pawns that they move around wherever
Absolutely.
they need us.
We
They move us around like we're little pawns on the chessboard.
we are they slaves, you
That's
know.
right.
We
That's
still
right.
slaves. We still slaves, and we're not free. You know, we free to inhale and exhale the air. We free to go from one plantation to another.
That's it.
Yeah, because if we do anything out of order, what's going to happen?
They
We
gonna
got
we got trouble. They that's why they build those jail cells.
that's right, baby.
So
They
that
got
and and we only 13-14% of the population in
that's
the
right.
US. But
That's right.
yet we 72% of the prison population.
And
We
that's not
we either on in prison, in jail, on probation, on parole, or we on the ankle bracelet.
that's right. And let's not forget that we're non-productive consumers too.
That's right.
Non-productive consumers. We consume everybody's stuff.
That's right.
Everybody, you know.
Everybody come here. They say go to the black community because they spend money.
That's right. But you know what? See, it's like they always want to put the black man last. They want to crush the black man, the
Yeah,
black people.
they do. They do.
See, they rather crush us because, honey, these immigrants,
Yeah.
they you don't know what is over here. Because
No.
if they come first, and
Yeah.
then the folks is out, and they're gonna do
Yes.
everything they can to stay on top now.
That's
So
right.
gonna do what you gonna do.
Mm.
What you gonna do?
How are ya? Good to see you.
A long time no speak to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay, and I'm remiss for taking this long. Well,
That's all
I
right. You here today. That's all that count.
okay.
That's all that count. We talking about, can women affect change in the way that our youth vote?